Hello, Meg here from I Teach Stamping, and welcome to the Friday Flip. So the Friday Flip is where we take one project idea and we flip it into something completely different. So let's go ahead and take a look at our inspiration card. So here it is. Now I love this as a Christmas card. I love everything about it, especially this little setback circle over here. So we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to flip it into a birthday card. So we're going to start with our stamping, and I'm going to start with the Cupcake Party Stamp Set. Of course, you can use whatever cupcake set that you want, but I wanted to use this one. And I'm going to start by stamping the cupcake base in Coastal Cabana Ink. And you can do this on some scratch piece of white cardstock that you have. The size on this one doesn't matter, but when you go to stamp this guy, make sure to leave enough room, because, and you'll see why in a minute. So I'm doing the frosting in crushed curry. And then I'm going to do the little cherry guy in Calypso Coral. Alright, so we have that done. And now I'm going to bring in the Cupcake Builder Punch. And so you'll see what I mean about having space in between. See how there's those dots over to the side? So I'm going to start with this one. Then we're scoot over. And see, if we didn't have that space in between, we'd be punching out that candle where we don't want it and all that. Okay, so we have that. And then I'm going to do the cute little cherry with the smiley face. I love that little guy. There we have it. Okay, so we have good pieces here, and then we're just going to scoot these out of the way down here. So that's all we're going to do with the cupcake, and now we are ready to stamp our sentiment. So I'm going to bring in, this one happens to be from the Remembering Your Birthday, but all you're looking for is a cute font that says Happy Birthday. So I'm going to put this kind of up and to the left on my card, and I'm using my Stamp-A-Majig so I get perfect placement with my stamp. And I'm going to use Calypso Coral Ink again. Put it up into the T and then stamp. That's going to give me that. And then we're all done with our ink pads. We're not done adding color to our project though. So the next thing I'm going to pull in is going to be a circle punch. And we're not going to punch all of the circle, but we're going to punch out just a section on the side. So I'm going to use a 2.5 inch circle punch. Slide it in and see how I've got a whole space over here that I'm not punching? We're going to have that right there. So I'm going to remove my good pieces over here and scoot all of this out of the way. And the next thing we're going to do is some faux stitching. So I'm going to start with the Calypso Coral Ink. And I'm going to do some faux stitching around this circle. So I'm just using the thin section of my marker. I'm using a double-sided marker, one that has a fine tip, one that has a broad tip, and I'm using the fine tip. I'm just creating some lines around it. Alright, so we have that one done. Now we're going to switch over to Coastal Cabana, again using the fine tip side. And now I'm going to do the faux stitching all the way around. Next, we're going to move on to add some ribbon to our project, and I always wait to cut this ribbon ahead of time. If you've watched my videos, a lot of times you'll see that this ribbon is already cut and has adhesive, but I never know exactly where this circle punch is going to fall. And I don't want to waste ribbon by cutting either too much or cutting too little and having to redo it. So I'm just taking a bit of this Calypso Coral ribbon. I'm just going around the narrow section of our project. Alright, now the next thing we're going to do is go ahead and put this onto our card base. I'm going to go dimensional crazy because like on our inspiration card, that image of the tree was set back. And so I want to add that depth, but then we're going to pop some of it up too. You'll see what I mean in just a moment. So I'm going to use quite a few dimensionals, and I'm going to bring in our card base. So the card base is going to be Whisper White 4¼ by 11 inches. And I've scored it at 5.5. I'm going to peel off my dimensional backings. painstakingly, one at a time. Okay, we're going to have this, and then we're ready to drop this onto our card front. Okay, so see, we still have that shadow in there. We've got that depth built into it. And now we're ready to put in the pieces of our cupcake. It is a good thing that dimensionals are about a penny a piece because I love them and I go nuts with them. All right, so we're going to start with this guy. He's going to drop into our circle there. Then we're going to add our frosting, like so. Next, we're going to grab a glue dot. And take the little cherry and just kiss him on there. And peel him off. And then he is going to sit at the top of our cupcake. So he's attached to the frosting, not to the card base. All right, now we are almost done. I'm going to bring in the 10-second bow maker and some more of this same ribbon. And when you get the 10-second bow maker, you learn how to do all different kinds of bows, not just the standard ones. This is one of my favorite. It's the double loop bow. And the videos go much slower than how I do it on here so that you learn. All right, so you can get yours at 10secondbowmaker.com. And I'm just going to pull this off. I'm going to poof out my double loops. Use my ribbon scissors. I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm going to take this, kiss that on there. And then we drop it onto our card. So let me grab our inspiration card. So we kept so many of the same elements. We kept the circle, we kept the faux stitching, we just added some more around it. We changed out the Christmas sentiment to a birthday one. And we kept the bow, we just turned it into a double loop bow. And just like that, we went from Christmas to birthday in that amount of time. I hope that you enjoyed this week's Friday Flip. If you like this video, please be sure to like it below and also be sure to share it with your friends. And if you like my video tutorials, you will definitely want to check out Stamping Family. That's where I put my favorite projects. So to learn more about that, go to iteachstamping.com/SF for Stamping Family, and you can see the link on the screen right now. Thank you so much for watching today's video tutorial, and have a great day!